Moving on from the NFC, let's go over to the AFC side, which is a little bit brighter than the NFC in my opinion. It's a lot more competitive at least. With the the Browns getting John
Browns
Johnson, Troy Hill, McKinley, like
and Malik Jackson.
and
Yeah, no,
and
they
Jackson.
killed it. They killed it in the offseason. They're easily one of the winners. They can lay an egg on draft day for all I care, and they can still be one of the winners. John Johnson alone, the minute they signed him, I was like, oh, it's over. They win.
Yeah,
I
especially if they
especially
get
for the
Clowney as
money.
well.
Oh, if they get Clowney, they could trade all of their draft picks for nothing, and I wouldn't care. They could just say, oh, we don't need him, and they would still win the offseason very possibly. They Cleveland's headed somewhere with Stefanski. I'm
Stefanski
excited to
is
see where they're going.
I love Stefanski. He is great. He was able to establish his coaching, like the way he wants to coach in 1 year without a legit offseason. Like that's crazy to me. Like I don't understand how you can't be high on a guy like that because he won a playoff game without even being there. Like I just and against a rival in their home, in the rival's home. Like it's insane. I love the Browns. I love what they've done. I think it's amazing. And they're gonna be they're guess what, Steelers? They ain't the same old Browns. They ain't. No, not anymore. Um, But let's move on to the Ravens. Now, they did have some big departures, with Ward and Ngakwe and Judon, but they did get Wolf and Bowser back. I mean, those are two very good guys to keep. And they got Sammy Watkins on a phenomenal deal. And
Yeah,
we kind of
no,
learned why their offseason has been less than spectacular.
they've had a offseason just kind of they're maintaining the status quo. I like the people like I like their decisions to let those guys go. They all got overpaid, in my opinion. It was a good decision to let all of them get overpaid by other people. They're gonna have some nice compensatory picks next year for those guys
Oh,
and maybe be able to
100%.
reload and getting Watkins and retaining the cheaper guys. That's what you need to do as a contending team. You let the big expensive guys that you can replace go and keep the cheap guys. And they managed to do that. So it's not a horrible offseason like some people are pegging them. I read a rankings the other day that gave them a solid F for the offseason. That's too low. I would give them like a C plus ish.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean,
it's
I think
just
the
like
Watkins deal alone gets them at least a passing grade.
that's what I would think. They passed. They passed
Yeah.
the check this offseason.
And
Just they
and
did not do amazing.
and it is predominantly because like what we said earlier with the whole Earl Thomas thing. Like that could really hurt them. That 5 to 10 million gone. Like
Yeah.
they have to be cognizant of that or they have to be aware of that. I don't know why I can't say the word right now, but they have to be aware of you know not having 5 to 10 million. It makes it a little bit harder to sign some people.
It's most
But
definitely true.
I like where the Ravens are. They obviously have a great team and a great coach and a great quarterback and a great running back room. I I mean obviously they need a pass rusher and they need some more wide receiver help. But I think they can get that in the draft easy. And like I said, if they get Mitchell Schwartz, then boom, that's their O line fixed for at least this next year. Worry about it next year. Um,
With those compensatory picks, that's when you worry about doing that. Just
exactly,
survive this year with the mass departures, and then you're going to be okay.
exactly. And I think they very well could. I mean, EDC is a phenomenal GM. I if anybody can do it, I think he can, and I think they will draft very well. I think they know what they need and how to get it. So I have faith in the Ravens. Ravens fans, you don't be too down on it yet. Wait to see what happens with the draft. But a team that I would maybe not be so happy if I was a fan of theirs is the Steelers. I
Managed to bring
don't.
back Juju, the lone bright spot in their offseason. They managed to get him back for cheap for one more year, which is going to be a massive disappointment, I feel like, for the Steelers organization. They managed to lose everybody on their O line for an aging QB with injury issues. It's going to be a wonder to me if he manages to play the full first 3 games of the season without
Oh yeah, and with
sustaining
them
an
adding
injury.
another game, there's no way he plays the whole season. There's no way.
Rip Roethlisberger. I don't
No,
like
yeah.
the guy, but he's. I do not envy him. I've got to feel a little sorry for him. He's about to get ripped apart.
No, he 100% is. And the thing is that like he is a Hall of Famer. And so it is always really rough even if you don't like the guy cuz I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Steelers in general, but I've also never really been a big fan of Ben either. But it's always real rough to see these guys go, limping out the door. It's never a fun sight. And
So
while I mean I might be able to laugh at some of the games that Ben does if he has some really historically bad games, at the same time, like I don't want to. I mean I will because I don't really care about the Steelers, but like he's a Hall of Famer. Like I don't like laughing at Hall of Famers their last season when they should be going out, at least on a semi high note, maybe not win it all, not everybody can, but at least go out, trying, like Drew Brees did. Even his was kind of sad, but at least it was more understandable. He had all of these injuries and he still made a decent run into the playoffs. He didn't just get smacked the first game in the playoffs.
like someone else.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, I'm very sus of the Steelers. I don't know where they're going from here, and they have to figure out that quarterback position real quick because Ben, there's no way in my mind Ben plays a full season this year, and there's no way in my mind that he doesn't retire after this year. So they have to have somebody waiting in the wings right now. Right now.
They're smart. They go pick Kellen Mond at the end of the first if he manages to even be there. But his stock's been climbing.
It has, so I doubt that. But yeah, no, I mean that wouldn't be a bad choice for the Steelers either. Um, but let's move on to the Bengals, which I am torn with the Bengals. I don't like losing Geno Atkins. I don't like them losing AJ Green. But they were the ones that picked up Reef. You know, they picked up Reef from the Vikings.
A decent move. There was some better linemen available with the amount of money they had to throw at the issue. But instead, they
Yeah.
decided to throw their money at Trey Hendrickson instead of Carl Lawson, which
Yeah.
is an ugly, ugly move and makes me give them almost a failing grade for this offseason. Now, he's higher on it than I am, but I do not think they paid Trey Hendrickson more than Lawson got. And I think Lawson's the better player.
No, I'm not saying so I'm higher on it because I understand wanting Trey Hendrickson. I don't understand paying him this much now, but like I see wanting him as a player. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean him. Like Lawson versus Hendrickson. Yeah, like I mean I would probably pick Lawson as well myself. Um, but I'm saying like I'm in between with giving them like a failing grade or not because they still kind of have some bright spots. They've got Joe Burrow. They've got the fifth pick in the draft, so they could turn it around if they really wanted to. But like at the same time, do you have faith for them to turn it around after what they've done so far this offseason? And that's where I'm conflicted. I am definitely leaning no, but it's just like they have this chance to, maybe, compete with the big boys in the AFC North. but are they going to? Because we've seen them
Definitely
time
not
after
this year.
time have a chance and just squander it. I mean, what, the two times they went to the playoffs, they were beaten by the Texans?
They've went to the playoffs way more times than that. Then they never win.
Yeah.
That's you can't settle for making the playoffs and losing the first round, and that's at best what I see for the Bengals down the road right now. They're mildly improving, and they're already like cat. They last year they were bright. They started to show some potential until Burrow got hurt, and then this season they're like already starting to cap it off, being like, okay, we're getting there. No,
Yeah.
no, you're not, guys. Stop it.
No, it's looking real sus. It's looking real sus. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. We would love to hear any and all opinions. We're very good about that. We love to hear what you guys have to say. And you know what? Sometimes, if you make a really good argument for something, maybe we'll throw it in on an episode or something, talk about it. But don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good YouTube algorithm, all that good stuff. But until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Joel, and I'll see you next week.
And this is Two Nerd Sportscast, and we are peacing out. Y'all have a good one.